Now the story turns to Shohei Ohtani back in camp, ready to roll. And now we know he's going to get not just one, but two starts in spring training. He's going to give it a go during the Freeway Series next week. And today he's going to be on the mound. So he was getting his pitching, getting the buildup going, continuing that in Miami. He had 59 pitches, had some really nice moments, broke some bats, had a lot of swing and miss. And now really it's about, can he get it going in Cactus League play? And I think when you look at the buildup, it's pretty clear what they're going to be doing right now is they're going to try to get into 3 to 4 innings. That's what Dave Roberts said. And with some of this young talent, some of these options, some of these swing guys, the Justin Robleskis, guys like that, there is going to be opportunities for some swing starts. And there's going to be some opportunities for some piggyback bullpen type games. And then you get him built up to 6 and hopefully 7 innings, and he can ride that wave throughout his season. And we've seen him do it in the past. I mean, a couple years back, he did make 28 starts in 2022. He did have 166 innings under his belt and finished 4th in the Cy Young voting. Last year, we know that when he came up, it was a different type of progression. They went 1 inning at a time, then 1 inning to 2 innings to 3 innings, and that's kind of the plan. But this year, it's going to be different. They're going to start at 3, they're going to start at 4, and then go up from there. So I think it's pretty clear to me, and it should be clear to you, that part of the big goal, the big priority of this season for Shohei Ohtani is to have his first wire-to-wire two-way season in a while. And it's going to be his first two-way season as a Dodger. And he's already made it clear that he wants to win the Cy Young. I've talked about it for a long time. There's not a lot left for this guy to accomplish. There's not a lot of empty space on his trophy mantle. And he has collected all of the MLB trophy Infinity Stones for his gauntlet to the point where he needs 2 gauntlets. And he hasn't won a batting title, hasn't won a Cy Young, hasn't won the World Series MVP. I think 2 of those 3 things are very, very possible this season. One of these years, I think he'll compete for a batting title. It's not outside of the realm of the possibilities. He can hit 300 plus. If you hit 300 to 320, saw what Trey Turner won with it, you can win a batting title for sure. But the question is, how many starts will he get? I think if he goes 25 to 30 starts, and he's right there with Paul Skeens, I think he's going to win the Cy Young. And I think a lot of the Cy Young chase, I think a lot of the Ohtani planning is going to be about what happens at the start of the season. Because there are going to be stretches where the Dodgers are playing 19 games in 19 days, and they're going to want to call up guys for spot starts and rely on their depth, and he might skip a start or 2. Well, with Shohei, the big kicker is the days after he pitches. And I think what they're going to try to let him do is make him make his starts, but be very strategic about it where he can make that start before a day off. Last year, he pitched in 18 games. On days that he pitched, he hit 246, had a 358 on base, 638 slug with 7 home runs, 2 doubles, and 2 triples. But it was the day after he pitched. In 2025, 8 games on days after he pitched, Shohei went a combined 4 for 33, hit 121, had a 171 on base, a 273 slug, hit a home run, had a triple. So he's going to have fatigue. He really is. So I think that's kind of how you have to manage him. But the truth is, we are in uncharted territory with a player that's a one-of-one player. I've said it before on the show, and I'll say it again. Do not put him in the conversation with Babe Ruth, because that's disrespectful to Shohei Ohtani. The most wins and home runs that Babe Ruth had in the season combined was in 1918, when Babe Ruth had 13 wins and 11 home runs. And I'm not a big wins or losses guy. In fact, I hate that stat. It was developed by Henry Chadwick of the Sporting News. Back when Henry Chadwick invented the win stat, it was when pitchers were expected to pitch all 9 innings of the game and beyond if he needed to. If that pitcher came out of the game, he actually had to go play a position, outfield, infield, whatever it may be. So it made more sense, wins and losses. But now that's more of how good your offense is, how good the guys are after you. Like, it doesn't reflect how good of a pitcher is. But when you use it to talk about a position player that also pitches as well, I think it is an indication, at least, that they're out there consistently. So if he does get 20 plus wins, it says, wow, the fact that he was even eligible for 20 wins tells you that he pitched a lot of innings, right? That he was eligible for the win and went at least 5 innings. So I think there's a lot of that there too. So, the whole thing about, Shohei Ohtani pitching and Shohei Ohtani hitting and this and that. Like, I've seen comparisons of Shohei Ohtani and other type of feats, right? Like, I said it, I'm not going to try to take a victory lap here, even though you guys know I love to do that. What did I say after Shohei had the 10 strikeout, 3 home run game in game 4 of the NLCS? I said that we could see Kobe's 81-point game surpassed this very next NBA season. And guess what? We did. And I said we'll never see what Shohei did repeated unless Shohei does it, because he's the only guy that's capable of doing it. And the funny thing is, and the most mind-blowing thing and the most perplexing thing is the true fact that just because you're wearing the same type of uniform, you're on the same type of field, pitching and hitting is 2 different sports. It's as if Tiger Woods won the U.S. Open and he won the U.S. Open in tennis the same week. Like, it's ridiculous. It's absurd. And I think it's going to be a special year for, I think the better comparison would be like if Tom Brady went like 38 for 40 for 750 yards and 8 touchdowns, but also had 3 sacks and an interception for a touchdown on a football field, right? I think that's more of an apt comparison. So I think it's going to be a special year. And Shohei Ohtani is my pick to win the Cy Young. I know everyone says Paul Skeens. I know his teammate Yoshinobu Yamamoto wants that award, and he's said it himself. But I think that when Shohei Ohtani, when he wants something, he gets something. If he wanted Chick-fil-A on Sunday, he could get it. And I certainly think that he's going to put himself in a position to win that award because, of course, he is. And we take a big step towards that today in spring training. Okay, I want to switch gears to the WBC. But first, I got to talk about Miguel Rojas. So I kind of defended Evan Drellich when this news first broke, saying that it was a mistake. And what happened was Evan Drellich, who's been a very credible reporter for The Athletic, he missed on a tweet where it was a typo where he meant Johan Rojas has been suspended for 80 games for PEDs, but he put Miguel Rojas of the Los Angeles Dodgers. So it's kind of weird they had the Dodgers thing in there. And I was saying, look, maybe it's not the biggest of deals. Maybe we can move past this. But Miguel Rojas was on the great Chris Rose's show, formerly of the Rose Rotation for John Boy Media. I love Chris Rose. And here's what Miguel Rojas had to say about what went down.
I don't want the people involved with the organization to have to deal with something like that when it didn't even happen.
Time right now for our SoFi Spotlight of the Week, and it's going to focus on you. I was in a meeting, and I get out, and the first thing I see is Trevor Plouffe and Jake Storiali talking about, well, thank God Miguel Rojas didn't get popped for PEDs. Evan Drellich of The Athletic, who's actually been a very good investigative reporter, mistyped your name when he was talking about Johan Rojas.
Whoa. Let me stop you there. He didn't mistype my name. He did it with all the intention to put my name and the organization's name on that tweet. One thing is to mistype my name and say Miguel Rojas got suspended. That's a fair kind of mistake that you can commit. But when you say Miguel Rojas from the Los Angeles Dodgers
right,
got suspended 80 games for PEDs, that's what I'm not good with. And I'm gonna talk to you about this, and this is the only person that I'm gonna talk to about this issue, because I don't want to make it a big deal and I don't want to make it about myself. But I feel like as a reporter, you have to have some ability to be a professional as well and apologize, not just to me, but to the organization, because you don't even know how Andrew Freeman felt after these accusations that for 6 minutes kind of rumbled my whole world and got so many people around me and around us, the team, the Los Angeles Dodgers, worry because of one guy make a mistake that is I'm totally okay with making mistakes. But at the end of the day, I was expecting an apology.
Are you saying that Evan did not reach out to you and apologize?
No chance, because I don't have X or Twitter or whatever. He didn't make an apology to my name or the organization for saying something like that.
Whether or not he wrote that he was sorry or not, he owes you a call.
He didn't call me or trying to reach out or anything.
That's bullshit.
It is bullshit.
Okay, clearly Miguel Rojas not happy about it. Actually reached out to Miguel Rojas. I'm still waiting to hear back from him, but it's totally understandable. Here's the thing, and I think for Miggy, everything has been so positive about him hitting the home run in Game 7 of the World Series, one of the most iconic moments in World Series in baseball history. Frankly, I've already dubbed it the most important home run in Dodgers franchise history. It's the home run that saved a dynasty. To be linked to PEDs, even if it's for 6 minutes at the end of your career, is something that you just do not want. I mean, that's just about as bad of an accusation or a mistake that you can make. Because once you're a PED guy, you never shake that. Ask Bonds, ask Braun, ask Robinson Cano, ask Rafael Palmeiro, ask Sammy Sosa, ask Alex Rodriguez, ask Mark McGwire. Like, once you're a PE dude, you're always a PED dude. They don't care about, oh, this was a mistake, it was a this, that was a substance, it was a ringworm cream, it was that. I mean, you're always a PED dude, and you never want to see your name in the same tweet as a guy that had gotten a PED accusation or a PED suspension. So it's totally understandable why Miguel Rojas would be upset about this. And here's the thing too, had Evan Drellich had reached out to Miguel Rojas, and I guarantee you baseball is such a small world that Evan Drellich, if he doesn't have his number or contact information already, he knows people that could have gotten it for him in less than 2 minutes. And then on top of that, if you don't want to reach out to him directly, you got to just do the follow-up tweet where you apologize profusely. So look, I mean, I can defend the mistake, but I definitely agree that the apology was not there, which definitely hurt. And then on top of that, you have the Dodgers in your tweet that makes it a lot worse. Remember, the Dodgers just paid him $5+ million. They had to be pretty scared about that and all the bad publicity that would come from that. And most importantly, just losing him as a player and a great presence in that dugout and clubhouse. So I feel you, Miggy Ro, and I just love the fact that Miguel Rojas says it with his chest. And I know that there's one thing that can make him forget this, and that is the fact that his country, Venezuela, won the World Baseball Classic yesterday. It was an electric environment at Lone Depot Park in Miami. And I know that you guys care a lot more about the Dodgers than Team USA. That's totally fair. But I do want to say what exactly happened to Team USA's offense. And how I will link this to the Dodgers is this. Look at that lineup. Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper, who hit an absolute tank to tie things up with their just 1 out left in the 9th inning. You can have a lineup as stacked as the Team USA lineup was and still score just 2 runs. They scored 4 runs in their last 2 games. They scored 20 runs in their last 6. Great pitching beats great hitting every single day of the week. And also, they didn't have a Miguel Rojas moment. They didn't have a Will Smith moment. You can have all the talent in the world. It doesn't guarantee you're going to win. So this should be a message to baseball fans all around that just because the Dodgers have this stacked lineup doesn't guarantee victory. And if I'm Team USA, Mark DeRosa, nice guy, great analyst, a lot of charisma, he couldn't motivate me to make a sandwich. And I was waiting for him after the game to say, yeah, they took game 1, but we're built to take the next 2 games. And I think we're going to win this in a 3-game series or something like that. I would have been shocked to know that he didn't know that was a 1-game playoff, a 1-game series. So, yeah, I mean, you look at that U.S. lineup, they got shut down by a 17-year-old, a farmer who hadn't pitched since the last WBC, a single A guy named Tugboat. other minor leaguers, a guy with a career ERA at almost 5. So for me, I think you got to hire a manager that can motivate an offense. And look, you can't put it all on him, but we saw what Team USA did for basketball. They went on and got Coach K, one of the greatest coaches ever. And on top of that, the World Baseball Classic, fantastic. I'm dropping a whole vlog on it. You guys can't miss the vlog. People dancing, these Venezuelans, these people from the Dominican Republic, Japan. I've never seen people party this hard or celebrate this much. And a lot of emotion. And the truth is, it's grown the game. I know there's this big debate and all this narrative about the WBC versus the World Series. Truth is, look, a World Series takes 7 months to win. You can win the WBC in a couple of weeks. And I'm not here to tell players that playing for your country doesn't mean more than playing for a job, right? Playing for a city, but they're both great. And I think if you would ask most of the players from other countries, they would say WBC. A lot of them have already said that. Still think the World Series is the World Series. Like, I look at it this way. If Shohei Ohtani won 5 WBCs but no World Series, would he go down as the greatest ever? I don't think so. You need the World Series hardware to get it done.
大谷翔平がドジャースに戻ってきた。そして山本由伸もまた新しいシーズンへ向けて改めて気持ちを整えている。ワールドベースボールクラシックという大きな舞台を終えて、今、二人の視線は完全に次の戦いへ向いている。目指すのはただの好スタートではない。ドジャースの連覇、そしてその先にあるもう一段上の支配だ。この時期の大谷を見ていると改めて感じる。やはり彼は特別な選手だ。いや、特別という言葉だけでは足りないのかもしれない。シーズン前のわずかな変化一つで、ここまで大きな期待を課せる選手は他にいない。特に大きかったのが3月19日の時点で見えてきた投手としての確かな前進だ。ここまで慎重に積み上げてきた調整が、ようやく実戦感覚へと近づき始めている。打者を相手に投げる段階に入り、球の力、球質、そして出力の面でも、はっきりと前向きな材料が揃ってきた。大谷の凄さは、ただ投げられることではない。ただ戻ってくることでもない。戻ってきたその先に、もう一度、二刀流の頂点を本気で目指せるだけのスケールがあることだ。ここが、一番胸を打つ。普通なら、一度大きな手術を経験した選手は、まず慎重に、少しずつ、無理をせず、1年かけて形を整えていく。それでも10分立派だ。それが当たり前だ。けれど大谷翔平という選手は、その当たり前の物差しで分かれない。打者としてすでにメジャーを代表する存在でありながら、投手としても、また最高峰を目指そうとしている。しかも、その目標が単なる復帰ではない。本気で勝ちに行くための復活だ。だから今、ドジャースにとって大きいのは、大谷がただ元気に戻ってきたという事実ではない。投手としての手応えまで持って戻ってきたことだ。この春の流れを見る限り、ドジャースは大谷の調整を急がせてはいない。だが、遅らせてもいない。丁寧に、しかし確実に、シーズンの中で最も強い大谷へ向かわせようとしている。その設計が、今のところ非常にうまく機能しているように見える。そして、その隣にいるのが山本由伸だ。山本は、もはや期待の新戦力ではない。すでにドジャースの中心だ。ローテーションの柱であり、大舞台を託される存在であり、チームが最初にボールを預けるべき投手として、確かな信頼を勝ち取っている。開幕投手に指名されたことは、その事実を何よりはっきり示している。ドジャースという球団で、開幕のマウンドを任される。それは単なる名誉ではない。チームの1年を背負う覚悟が必要な役目だ。しかも今のドジャースは、ただ強いだけのチームではない。優勝を義務のように求められるチームだ。そこで開幕投手を任される意味は、非常に重い。けれど山本なら、その重さを受け止められる。むしろ、その重さがあるほど、彼の投球は研ぎ澄まされていく。静かで、冷静で、無駄がない。派手に見せる投手ではない。だが、気づけば相手打線を支配している。あの独特の間合い、あの精度、そして勝負どころでぶれない強さ。山本由伸は、まさにそういう投手だ。そして今、ドジャースには、この二人がいる。大谷翔平、山本由伸。一人は、野球そのものの限界を押し広げる存在。もう一人は、日本野球の美しさと完成度を体現する存在。この二人が同じユニフォームを着て、同じシーズンを戦う。それだけで、もう胸が高鳴る。しかも今年は、そこに昨年までとは違う期待がある。大谷に対する期待が、ただ打ってほしい。ではないからだ。ただホームランを打ってくれ。ではない。今年はそこに、 投げる大谷への本格的な期待が重なっている。打って、走って、そして投げる。かつて、メジャー全体を親和せた、完全な二刀流。2022年、2023年のように、見るものすべてに、これは本当に現実なのか、と何度も思わせた、圧倒的な姿、ファンが今年に期待しているのは、まさにそこだ。もちろん、簡単ではない。二刀流は、言葉にすると華やかだが、実際には想像を絶する負荷がかかる。試合に出続けながら打撃を維持し、その上で投球の強度を上げ、ローテーションにも対応しなければならない。どちらか片方でも超一流でいるだけで奇跡に近い世界で、両方をやる。それがどれほど異常な挑戦か、本当は誰もがわかっている。だからこそ、期待してしまう。もし大谷が今年、打者としても投手としても本来のスケールを取り戻したら、もしシーズンを通して、二刀流として高い水準を維持できたら、その時、メジャーリーグはまた、大谷翔平という一人の選手を中心に回り始めるかもしれない。そして私は、それが決して夢物語ではないと思っている。なぜなら、今見えているのは、ただの回復ではないからだ。ただの途中経過でもない。そこには、手応えがある。自分の体と対話しながら、必要な強度を少しずつ引き上げていく。大谷らしい調整の確かさがある。派手に騒がなくてもいい。大げさに煽らなくてもいい。ただ静かに見ていればわかる。今年の大谷は、また何か大きなものを見せてくれる。そう思わせるだけの空気が、すでにある。そして、その大谷を支えるように、山本由伸が開幕からローテーションの先頭に立つ。これはドジャースにとって、ものすごく大きい。シーズンは長い。162試合ある。春に勢いがあっても、夏に失速するチームはいくらでもある。だが、先発陣に軸があり、しかも、その軸が山本のように安定しているなら、チームはブレにくい。山本が最初に流れを作る。大谷がそこへ加わっていく。そして打線には、すでに圧倒的な火力がある。この形が噛み合ったとき、ドジャースはただ強いだけのチームではなくなる。相手から見て、どう攻略すればいいのかわからないチームになる。今年のドジャースに漂っているのは、そういう種類の怖さだ。しかも、その中心に日本人選手がいる。それがどれほど誇らしいことか。大谷翔平が戻ってきた。山本由伸が開幕を託された。その事実だけでも十分に特別だ。だが本当に大切なのは、その先だと思う。大谷は、もう一度、二刀流でメジャーを支配できるのか。山本は、エースとして一年を引っ張れるのか。そしてドジャースは、その二人と共に、新しいシーズンの頂点へたどり着けるのか。答えは、まだ先にある。けれど今は、はっきり言えることがある。期待していい。いや、期待せずにはいられない。3月19日の時点で見えているものは、ただの順調な調整ではない。新しいシーズンへ向けた、確かな予兆だ。大谷の球には、まだ夢がある。山本の腕には、まだ信頼がある。そしてドジャースには、今年もまた、世界を飲み込むだけの力がある。だからこそ、新しいシーズンが待ち遠しい。二刀流が、もう一度、完全な形で帰ってくるかもしれない。静かなエースが、開幕からチームを導いていく。その二つが同時に起きるシーズンなど、胸が高鳴らないはずがない。2026年のドジャースは、また強い。いや、もしかすると、去年以上に恐ろしいかもしれない。そして、その中心には、やはり大谷翔平がいる。投げて、打って、勝つ。その当たり前ではない当たり前を、また見せてくれる日が、少しずつ近づいている。